bring tidings from the Dread Lady. I thought we were done with you, but no. My mistress Lyranth has once again sent me far and wide to bring you an important message. Shall I impart the words of the Dread Lady now, or would you rather wait until after the Dagonists destroy the world? The great and powerful Lyranth requires the assistance of a chosen mortal. That would be you, by the way. Among other things, I can tell because of the way your hands are glowing. This concerns the ongoing threat of the Order of the Waking Flame. Fanatical followers of Mehrunes Dagon, the Daedric Prince of Disaster. While my mistress is merely curious, she has learned that the cult's plans pose a grave threat to the mortal world. Will you assist Lyranth? She will compensate you, of course. Meet my mistress in the Oblivion city of Fargrave, outside the southern gate. Lyranth said she would wait for you there. Hurry, chosen mortal! The fate of both Fargrave and Nirn hang in the balance. Some of the locals call it the Celestial Palanquin, but most know it simply as Fargrave. It's a city somewhere in Oblivion, sitting on a nexus of a multitude of realms. That's one of the reasons the place is so popular. It connects to everywhere. The correct term is prophet, you heathen adventurer. But yes, I still gladly and happily serve my mistress, the Dread Lady. And I have important tasks of my own to perform if we're done here. Go on. Lyranth doesn't like to wait.
Let's ride!
The anchorite! You're as bothersome as that damned Dremora! No matter. The votive rune is placed, and now you die!
You brought this on yourself, Dagonist! Hey you, with the glowing hands. We have something in common. If you're not a cultist, we should talk. Damn these Waking Flame cultists, bringing their Mehrunes Dagon madness to Fargrave. Their votive runes infect mortals with dark magic. I came to meet someone about all this when I spotted that cultist and my hands began to glow. Just like yours. This is Fargrave, a city in Oblivion with permanent and open connections to other realms. The cultists place those votive runes faster than I can destroy them, putting every mortal who lives here at risk. That's why I agreed to meet with the Dremora. Lyranth the Dremora. She sent me a letter. Said the cult threatened Fargrave. Nirn, too. She wanted my help, but I can't deal with that now. The votive runes are clearly the immediate danger. We should work together on this. I can pay. I need you to talk to my contacts. Madam Wim's establishment is here in the city. Initiate Teal'go meets me in the burn, out in the Deadlands. See what they know about the votive runes and the cult's plans. Then meet me in the Fargrave crafting plaza. Really? All I know is that she's a Dremora who has an interest in the Dagon cult known as the Order of the Waking Flame. This is where we were supposed to meet, but all I saw when I got here was that cultist and the votive rune he was casting. No. The votives mess with mortal emotions, make everything more intense. Not sure why. Lyranth said the magic in her letter would allow her to recognize me. I think that's what the glow was. If only I could get the Grasp to care about all this. The Grasp of the Stricture. They're an order of Daedra, mostly Dremora, who serve as arbiters and interpreters of the Stricture. A magical covenant that allows Fargrave to serve as neutral ground for all Daedra. They enforce the laws, to a point. Well, since mortals aren't bound to the Stricture, the Grasp pretty much ignores us, unless we interfere with the Stricture in some way. As long as the cult and its votive runes only threaten mortals, the Grasp simply doesn't care. Madam Wim is a dark seducer who has her thumb on the pulse of Fargrave. Nothing happens here that she isn't keenly aware of. She deals in favors and information, for a price. And the more you seek her help, the more expensive her services become. Initiate Teal'go is a member of the Order of the Waking Flame. He was my friend before the cult recruited him. Turns out, Teal'go's had a change of heart. He's been providing me with inside information about where the cult plans to strike next. Madam Wim runs an establishment in Fargrave called the House of Whims. Just be careful. She enjoys getting her hooks in new arrivals. You'll find Initiate Teal'go in the Deadlands, an area known as the Burn. The Plaza of Portals will take you there. The Plaza of Portals is one of Fargrave's most important locations. A series of permanent gateways to other realms in Oblivion. One of those realms is the Deadlands, the domain of Mehrunes Dagon. Is it? I hadn't noticed. Look, we only just met. If you turn out to be trustworthy, I'll tell you the strange tale. If not, well, we'll deal with that if it becomes necessary. Perhaps. And maybe it's just a fashion statement. Now, go talk to Madam Wim and Initiate Teal'go while I make my rounds. I need to check on my charges around the city. As a crossroads, it's natural for people from everywhere to wind up here. I check on the mortals of the city on a regular basis, help them as I can. That's why Wim calls me the Fool of Fargrave, because I care. And it's why I abhor the Dagonists. Then you know the cult is evil. They appeared recently, proselytizing in the plazas. Then they started placing those votive runes, some kind of prayer to Mehrunes Dagon. But it intensifies mortal emotions. The runes are dangerous. I know it. The glow seems to have faded. For now.
Why won't you all just leave me alone?
Something terrible's about to happen. I just know it.
Another poor mortal succumbed to the power of the Dagonic votives. How unfortunate. But what's this? A new face? And what does Madam Wim always say? New faces bring new opportunities. Let's talk. Has anyone ever told you that you have an incomparable mien? Most in this celestial palanquin we call Fargrave have the barest patina on their auras. But you, I know multiple buyers who would pay top price for a soul like yours. Shall we trade? What? Poor Josette? She's one of my favorite regulars. At least she was, before the votives affected her. First, she became belligerent, then extremely melancholy. Now she's practically mindless. But tell me, darling, what brings you to Madame Whim's? She did she? All true, but I hate to brag. She's an unusual mortal, though, isn't she? Our darling of the alleys. And clever. She sent you so as not to increase her tab at the House of Whims. As a new customer, your first transaction is free. Ah, two topics on the lips of many a Fargravian. The Daganists are mortal rabble with a fetish for destruction. The votive runes are prayers to their prince made manifest. Spells that seem to affect only mortals, like poor Josette here. An interesting question. Alas, I have no answer. But you're not the only newcomer to our fair city seeking such knowledge. My eyes about town tell me that Lyranth the Dremora has come to Fargrave. She's in the shambles, searching for Sister Seldina. You want more? I'm giving away an awful lot as part of your free sample, but I am feeling generous today. Sister Seldina leads the Daganists here in Fargrave. She and Lyranth seem to have it out for one another, though I have yet to ascertain why. As the name implies, I trade in eccentricities and capriciousness. I buy and sell as impulse dictates. My establishment carries indulgences from across Oblivion. And information, of course, along with food, drinks, and an amenity for every appetite. Oh, the mortal on the floor? No, I don't believe so. The spell is quite potent. I suspect the votive runes have a darker purpose than simply elevating emotions and turning mortals into mindless husks. Pity the grasp refuses to investigate. The grasp of the stricture. They enforce law and order in Fargrave. The stricture is a covenant that binds all Daedra and allows us to operate somewhat in concert. Since mortals aren't bound by the covenant, the grasp tends to pay them no mind. An apt description, if somewhat inaccurate. They do enforce Fargrave's laws, but in ways that won't always be comprehensible to the limits of mortal understanding. Try not to commit any crimes in front of them, and they won't harass you. Probably. A terrible place. I urge caution if you decide to venture there. It's a warren of alleys, tenements, and ruins, hidden behind thick walls. Many mortals live there in the most appalling conditions, but it can also be a good place to conduct business. Oh, innocent mortal. The kind of business best engaged in, where the grasp of the stricture doesn't reach. It's a perfect location to hide a Daganist cult, seeking to cause chaos and mayhem. I'm surprised our darling of the alleys didn't mention that. Darling of the alleys, fool of Fargrave, woman in the mask. Ever since the anchorite arrived in Fargrave, she's gone out of her way to help the mortals cast upon our shore, and she asks for nothing in return. Pity I know so little else about her. Now, what should we...
Feeling chatty, are we? Just tired of walking anyway.
not the person I was supposed to meet. What do you want? Explain yourself, stranger. The Deadlands isn't a place for chance encounters. The Anchorite promises to get me away from the cult in exchange for information. I hold up my end of the bargain, and what do I get? Another fool, seeking knowledge from Portilgo. This is the last time, you hear? Make sure the Anchorite knows that. They don't tell lowly initiates all the details of their master plan, but I hear things. Sister Seldina wants to take over Fargrave. Make it an offering to Mehrunes Dagon. The votive runes play a part in that, but I don't know exactly how. Sister Seldina leads the Fargrave cell. She has a grand vision for the waking flame. It starts with Fargrave, but it doesn't end there. She wants control of the portals. With them, she can hand Lord Dagon all of Oblivion. Even Nirn would be in reach. The Dremora? She's practically all the Order's old guard talk about these days. Seems she's been causing a lot of trouble for Sister Seldina, interfering with her plans. Something's about to happen. Tell the Anchorite. Fargrave's in danger. The Order has camps throughout Fargrave and the Deadlands. Sister Seldina could be anywhere. But tell the Anchorite to check the shambles. Look for an abandoned building, someplace hot. I heard one of the Devastators complaining about the heat. If we were talking about the Deadlands, no. But the shambles is a different story. That section of Fargrave can't have too many places hot enough to make a Devastator uncomfortable. The Anchorite will figure it out. What? You assume every Dagonist is a true believer, willing to do whatever their superiors tell them? I joined up because they promised me a better life. A way to escape the shambles. But they lied. The Anchorite agreed to help me, for a price. If Sister Seldina knew I was talking to you or the Anchorite, my life wouldn't be worth a scab on an Ogrim's elbow. I want out! Look, tell the Anchorite. She can find me at the Bearer's Rest in Fargrave when she's really ready to help an old friend. Tell the Anchorite I'll be at the Bearer's Rest. She owes me, and I expect her to honor our agreement.
Disaster is coming! Fargrave is doomed!
There's no point. No point at all.
Over here, friend.
Lord Dagon will visit disaster upon this ash heap. Mark my words.
These new Dagonists are barely worth the effort. I followed them into the plaza and destroyed the votive rune before they even noticed I was there. And the Grasp decided to get involved, finally. Hey, did you learn anything from my contacts? Madam Wim didn't charge you, I hope. She usually lets you sample her wares for free the first time. After that, it gets... expensive. The Shambles is a big place, but now we know more than we did when we started. Did you also make contact with Teal'go? Hot? In the Shambles? Must be the old baths. The furnaces beneath the bathhouse have been burning forever. But what was that about the votive runes? How does Sister Seldina plan to use them to conquer Fargrave? Damn it! No one is going to conquer Fargrave if I have any say in the matter. I suppose we need to investigate the old bathhouse. If we find Sister Seldina, maybe we'll find Lyranth too. Let's meet in the Shambles. We can discuss our options there. Once we enter the Shambles, we can work our way together to the old bathhouse.
Move, mortals, flee! You will see. Lord Dagon will devour you and your city. Be silent. Your prince has no power here.
The Shambles. Not a place for a casual stroll. Let's go check out the old bathhouse. Choose a direction. East through Skane Road, through the Western Warrens, or directly north through the Central Plains. That door should take us into the bathhouse, if we can open it. Locked, and with magic, damn. If the main door is sealed, let's see if we can get in through the courtyard. That door leads to the courtyard and isn't warded. Can you pick the lock? I never met a building with only a single entrance and exit. Let's look around the courtyard. There's got to be another way to get into the bathhouse. Because it's a big building, and big buildings always have multiple exits and entrances. Besides, we didn't come all this way to be defeated by a magical seal on a bathhouse door. Let's search the courtyard and find another way to get inside. That opening is locked. Maybe we can reach the caves below and get into the bathhouse from there. Should be able to find a way inside through the Undercroft. It runs beneath the bathhouse. Another ward. I think we can get past this one, though. I have an idea. Unlike the door outside, this area contains everything we need to disrupt the magic sustaining the ward and dispel it. I've seen the Daedra use these crystals to do all sorts of things. I spotted a lucent among the debris in this hall. It's a Daedric crystal that can absorb and store the background energy that pulses through all the realms of Oblivion. We'll need that to get started. Then take the lucent to the Dynamis font over there. That background energy I mentioned, the font absorbs it. Place the lucent on the font, and it will fill it with the charged energy. Finally, insert the charged lucent into the discharge labrum beside the door. That will release the energy from the crystal and disrupt the ward. That's the idea, anyway. I've seen the Daedra do all sorts of things using lucents, fonts, and labrums. Remember, find a lucent, charge it in the Dynamis font, then place the charged crystal in the labrum beside the door. Once you understand how lucents function, You can use them to accomplish all sorts of things throughout the realms of Oblivion. That's definitely a Lucent. There is... Now take the Lucent to the Dynam... Place the Lucent in the Dynamis font, and it should fill it with energy. That did it. Look how the crystal crackled. Insert the charged crystal into the labra. It worked! And now you know how to use a charged Lucent. Let's see what's behind that door. They're glowing again.
I see my spell brought the help I requested, but I didn't expect there to be more than one of you. Ah, my simple spell finally yields results. I was hoping it would bring you to me again, little mortal. I do so appreciate working with known quantities. But who is this other mortal who also carries my glowing brand upon their flesh? The Anchorite. An unusual appellation, even for a mortal. You must be wondering why I summoned you and then failed to be on hand to greet you. When I heard that Sister Seldina had arrived at their headquarters in the Shambles, I had to act quickly. You can plainly see that I did not. Finding this location took more time than I expected, and even then, getting inside has proven difficult. But now that we're together, I suspect we can make short work of any obstacles and locate Sister Seldina. My reasons are my own, little mortal. Suffice it to say, I want to determine how Sister Seldina plans to utilize the votive runes to seize control of Fargrave. She wants to use its many portals as a gateway between the Deadlands and Nirn. Even a Dremora of my talents cannot hope to stand alone against the Dagonists and an army of living disasters. I seek to learn Sister Seldina's secrets. You want to protect the mortal realm from total destruction. Together, we can accomplish both. She's smart and ruthless. A powerful combination in a mortal. She commands the Dagonists here in Fargrave and oversaw the creation of the Cataclysm. With that device, she plans to create an army of living disasters to unleash upon Nirn. Daedra empowered to unleash destruction upon the mortal realm and make it easier for Mehrunes Dagon to conquer Nirn. Did you know he's tried before? Dagon broke an agreement, and the doors between the Deadlands and Nirn were sealed. He can't use them. Sotha Seal, one of the so-called living gods of the Dark Elves, supposedly made a pact with various Daedric princes to protect Nirn. I don't know the details, but Dagon broke the pact. Sotha Seal slammed the doors and closed off Dagon's connections. Everything about Sotha Seal's pact is rumor and speculation, so that is what I hope to determine. And I want to examine the Cataclysm. The attack on Fargrave could begin at any moment. Shall we enter the next area and see what Seldina is up to?
Glow. It vanished again.
The spell has run its course. The glow will not return. Now, to deal with this ward. Come, I sense activity in the chamber beyond.
The Dremora again. Well, you're too late. The ritual is almost complete. Dagon's blessing reverberates among the votive runes.
Soon a wave of destruction will sweep over.
The spell.
Stop! The
What's
ritual
happening
must
to us?
destroy the Daedra!
Mortal,
My plan
destroy the
depends
votive
upon it!
runes.
Your efforts are futile, fool. Lord Dagon himself taught me this ritual. All that work, ruined! You will pay for that, Dremora. You and your companions both.
Sister Seldina got away, and we're right back where we started. Nowhere.
Nowhere? How quickly mortals succumb to despair. Let's talk in the next room. Take a moment to look around. Sister Seldina departed in haste. Certainly she left something behind. I did not think Sister Seldina capable of performing such a powerful ritual. You did well, mortal. A few more moments and the magic would have exploded across Fargrave, leaving the city defenseless and destroying all of the Daedra, including me. Yes, but she fled in haste. That means she probably left something behind. Let's search this bathhouse. Bring me whatever you find. Sister Seldina's abandoned paraphernalia may be of use to me, and it may tell you more about the threat to Nirn. From what I could devise, the votives elevated the emotions of mortals in the city, siphoning the energy generated into Sister Seldina's ritual. She planned to use that energy to destroy the Daedra, including the Grasp, leaving the city defenseless. That would accomplish nothing. The Dagonists are experts when it comes to disappearing into the shadows. Sister Seldina will pay for her various insults soon enough. For now, see what she left behind when she fled. What did you find, little mortal? Tell me what you found, and I shall determine if it has any significance to my quest, or to yours. Nor can I. And while your literacy may be in question, mine certainly is not. This is no language, mortal or Daedric. It is written in code, one used by the Dagonists for their more guarded correspondence. No, and neither could any lowly recruit we captured off the streets and tortured for information. This code is reserved for the Order's elite. We'll need to find someone who can decipher it. I'm sure Fargrave must have someone with those skills. We should leave. The cult's forces may have scattered, but no doubt Sister Seldina will send a force to try to deal with us. We should not be here when they arrive. Perhaps the Anchorite can suggest a place for us to meet up, safe from prying eyes. What I seek still eludes my grasp, so our business is not yet concluded. You ought to be grateful. I can be a powerful ally, when the mood strikes me. I will meet you back in Fargrave. I'm sure the Anchorite knows someone who can decipher the code.
Let's meet at the inn in Fargrave. Bearer's Rest. We can talk privately there.
Let's ride!
So you really came all this way to stop the waking flame from destroying Fargrave?
Something like that.
I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that. Finding the leader of the cult, watching as she almost completed a deadly ritual, and then allowing her to escape. I never fail like that. And all we have for our trouble is a coded message. Maybe this is Fargrave, after all. The city connects to everywhere. Madam Wim must know someone here who can help us with that. In the meantime, we made a deal, and I always honor my commitments. Here, you earned this, my friend.
Little mortal, attend me.